Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arunachal Ramanaya. Om. Namaste everyone. Anyone has any questions? I can't see our Neelakantan ji there, but anyway. Before joining, I can tell you an interesting thing. I was on a webinar on driving and epilepsy, which was, the speaker was from Victorian Road Authorities, and there was an interesting case in which they were saying about this man. More than half a dozen times he had loss of consciousness while driving, and every time he survived without injury or minor injuries on highways, on busy roads. An unconscious man driving. I'm not saying that this is good, but what I'm saying is that Jako Rakhe Saiya, if you have heard Mar Sake Na Koi, when you have to die, you can slip in the bathroom floor and you are dead. And then sometimes so many things happens and you stay alive. So who keeps you alive? When we are unconscious, then there's something is keeping us alive. When someone enters into spirituality, it looks like it's a ethical thing, moral thing, maybe, too many thoughts coming to us, we get disturbed. Let's do spirituality and get rid of some thoughts, negative thoughts. But more you go into it, more it becomes intricate in a way that it starts asking too much from us, too much from the ego. And finally, when your understanding develops, you realize it asks you everything to surrender, to give up. Isn't it interesting, like how the understanding develops, how it becomes more? It looks like you thought you can give only a minute of a day or an hour of a day, and it devours, it just takes up everything. It just finishes you off what you were before. No trace of you is left. If you see what Bhagavan wrote in Aksharan Malai, this is what he wrote, that I came to you and you took me as your food and you have eaten me up and you have finished me. You have finished me. So all this is very intricate, and to understand this spiritual endeavor, it needs a lot of maturity. Your pakwa, which is called as maturity. And now, even in Aksharan Malai, Bhagavan says the same thing, that you look, you touch me, you take me in, you make me mature, you ripe me, and then finish me. And this is very important to understand. Make me mature. Bhagavan always says that this path of self-inquiry is for mature seekers. What is this maturity? Like age? When you turn 99, then you will get it. It is not the age. It is this understanding which takes time to understand that what is at stake. A lot of people come into spirituality and they look for liberation, and they get experiences, and the first experience they get, they think, oh, I'm done, I'm liberated. And then this understanding comes, no, it was just maybe a glimpse. A lot of work needs to be done. And we all know internally what works needs to be done. If you look into the tools, what tools will you use to know that? They say this mind needs to be finished. Then only you will know. And we only know how to know things only by this mind. Our all knowledge is through this mind only. And we also feel that whatever we have gained in this world is because of our ego. Ego means that I want to know this, I desire this, I want to achieve. And then we have learned that thing because of our attachment to that. And then we become something. We get a upadhi, some qualification. And they say you have to give up all qualifications, upadhis, all your attributes. You have to be attribute less. Then you know that. Isn't it becomes like a paradox, like all the way we learn in this world, to know that, what method? Who will know the method? How will you know the method? How will you know it? When we have tried what we think we can do, then we surrender. And surrender can be half, incomplete, because we still think I can do it. Let's have some surrender and some still I can put efforts. Finally, we understand that whatever we think we can do needs to be surrendered completely. Sharanagati. And with this Sharanagati comes humbleness and humility. It also makes us realize that there is a higher power which is taking care of all of us, every one of us. It had already planned our life. And if we start recognizing it, it starts revealing truth, reality. Now, to understand this, I would like to explain that what we want to know has no mind, no ego, no name, no form, no attributes. Never born as a body and never will die. And then I would like to say, you are that. But do you think you are like that? That you are never born, so you will never die. You have no mind, no thoughts, no name, no form, no attachment, no desire. And most important is you are purest of pure, taintless. Do you feel that within you, that you are untainted, purest of pure? Do you feel that? And then another thing which you need to understand is it is uninvolved. We are involved all the time. The only thing we know is involvement. Whether we are involved in a good way or a bad way, but we are involved. Then that means that to know that we have to be that only, exactly that. Not like 80% of that will work out. No, 100% that. So logical conclusion is that if you want to know that, what you think you are, you have to give it up. Then only it might be possible. At least this much logical conclusion we can make. Because we think we are in this body and I'm being born and I will die and I'm getting old and I have a mind, I have attachment, desire. So all this construct of the body-mind complex, what we think we are, is false, isn't it? There's something wrong. Because right now that's only we can see, feel. And if let's say we are of bit low IQ, we can ask people around us, is this body me? And have you seen I was born? And you can ask your parents and relatives and all, they will say, yeah, you are this person, we know you. And we all are like that. So where is the help to get out of it? Who will help us? Only who knows truth. Not our family members, not our friends. Because everyone, every single being on this earth, I can only say about human beings, have identification with the body-mind complex. And in general public, if you talk like this, they will suggest you to see a psychiatrist or get yourself treated, or maybe you are on drugs, or something is extremely wrong with the person. Even if you politely say to people that maybe you can investigate who you are, do you have courage to say anyone in general crowd that you are not this body-mind complex you are carrying? And I am not talking from any religious concept. I'm not saying that this religion says this. This is the experience of all realized being on earth, right now or thousands of years ago, and even in future also. Whether they come from any religious background or they have no religion, doesn't matter. But all of them have experienced one thing, that they are not this body. If you think the fear of death will go away, attachments will go away, and desires will go away, with keeping the identification of the body, then you are completely wrong. Nobody can do it. It's impossible. And do you think any saint or sage got rid of this body as soon as they realized? Perhaps never. Perhaps not. Look, I don't know. Maybe someone might have just disappeared from the body and the body was dead. But largely, I would say the body stays and the realized being stays. and the body continues, and the body is fed, and most of the time in a usual manner, like we live with this body, they also live with this body. Their body also has pain, disease, body gets old. Don't think that something happens differently to a self-realized being's body. Yes, I have to say few things gets different. There might be some power in the eyes or the fragrance in the body, or these are not, you can put perfume and you can also have fragrance. But what I'm saying is that more or less the body also decays and body becomes dead one day. So the body is not immortal. In spite of they all say they are immortal beings. In spite of all the wrongdoings of the body in the past, and perhaps sometimes even with body, they doesn't look like perfect beings, but they say they are untainted, uninvolved. They look uninvolved. They are talking to people, they are doing satsang or interacting and doing so and doing business, but they say they are uninvolved. It looks a paradox. Either they are cheaters, they are cheating us, they are not telling the truth, or they are telling the truth, but our intellect cannot understand this truth. There is some problem in the whole system. So we have to sort this out. Let's say we have faith that this person is speaking his truth, but what we see their involvement in things. And also sometimes we see the weakness of personality is still there in spite of them being saint. Some are very angry people. Some are abrupt. They do something more crazy. It looks more crazy than the normal beings. Maybe the way they dress up, or they don't take a bath, or they talk something which you can't make sense. And sometimes behaviors are very erratic, more erratic than a normal being. And still they say that they are free, they are uninvolved. So one thing, it makes it more clear that what the body mind does, it doesn't matter. Nisargadatta Maharaj used to say that whatever this body's destiny and whatever this body is doing, I have nothing to do with that. I don't identify with that at all. It's interaction with you and whatever it is doing. People say that he used to be very angry man, abrupt. But he never identified himself as an angry man. He said he's Parabrahm, beyond everything. Right now, we only have body as our identification. If by that grace, Kripa, we get something which we can identify as ourselves, then this identification will spontaneously drop. Intellectually, we can understand all this. But to enter into the new domain, to transcend this time and space, to be that which is eternal, to be that which is unborn, to be that is unborn and never involved, we need maturity, we need wisdom, we need our inner eye to open and to recognize it. And not just once recognized, establish in it. So there is a big role of this maturity coming to us. We know that this Brahman, which we all are, or the self we call, is one, same, unchanging. It is wherever we are, it is there. You can say it is in you, it is outside, it is everywhere. But it cannot be seen by these eyes. It cannot be felt by these senses. Some religions, some sects even say that this same mind, which is projecting the word, when it merges into that, then that is known. But what do you mean by merges in that? We know that the mind has projected this whole word and body and form. What does merging means? Merging means that all bodies will disappear. I don't think any saint said that now he can't see any body. You walk to him and he says, I can't see you. He saw bodies. He saw his own body. That means the mind is still operating. And the mind is projecting this word. Then what is different? There is one thing which is missing in an ajnani, in the one who is ignorant. One thing is missing. Recognition of Brahman within all the time. Only this is missing. It is missing, though it is there. So when the experience comes, it looks like something has overpowered us or something has come. We don't know whether it has come from inside or outside. Something else has taken over. So we have to create environment within us so something can take over. And that something which takes over cannot take over as long as there is ego, as long as there is individuality. Because two cannot be there. There cannot be two owner of this body. We are the owner of the body. We intellectually understand I am not the body, I am not the mind. So we give up a lot of desires and attachments and we practice to be detached, uninvolved, as much as we can do with our own practice. With self-inquiry, asking this question again and again that I am not the body, I am not the mind, and trying to keep quiet. Literally trying to stay uninvolved with all sorts of arguments around us. And then trying to not involve in all the inner dialogues going within us about people in our family or things or politics or whatever it is. Even giving up all concepts. In this way, we are bringing peace to the mind. we are maturing enough to know that. Slowly and gradually there will be more sattvikta, more purity in us, which is needed. We are not running for things. If things comes easily, we accept. If they go, we accept. Because now we start realizing that this stillness with the sattvic mind is so beautiful. And within this sattvic mind, something happens with constant practice, constant longing, constant efforts. Individuality dissolves. I have to say, in most of the people, it is a gradual process. Though there might be sudden spurt of energy, which some people call as sudden realization, nirvana. But then that stabilization in this pure energy takes time, even years. Sometimes in this new found pure energy of Brahman, there can be a fear that, is this true or was that true, or is it a dream, or what if the ego comes back again? This type of thought can even come. And with constant sadhana, constant practice, this abiding in truth becomes firm and effortless. Memory of previous deeds done in that ego self might still stay, but it has no effect on us. Now we realize it was just body's act of doing things in its own way, forced by destiny. And the realization comes that this, what I am now identifying, this new formed energy, was there, but I had no clue at that time. I was ignorant. Now I am fully awakened. Previously, I was awakened in a dream state. And this happens only with grace, because we can put efforts the way our mind understands, and we can try to purify our mind as far as we can go with our habits. It is all preparatory phase, and that's all we can do. Constant contemplation on Brahman reveals Brahman. That is also true. In constant contemplation, we are merging our mind, our ego into it. With the open eyes, with closed eyes, our all attention is on that. So we see things but don't see things. We act but we don't act. We do but we don't do. Identification with all acts of the body stops. Yet the body does act as ordained, as desired by that higher power. We have no say in the acts of body. Because mind, which plays its role in guiding the body, has no I in it. Without that I, it becomes universal mind. There is no individual decision left to be taken. And you stay like a dry leaf in the wind. It just takes you. And you are in complete harmony with the source, which we call as Brahman or self. There is no egoistic resistance or egoistic motive. Whenever Bhagavan wrote something, he used to say there was so much of urge coming from some source for me to write it down. And I avoided. He says like this, and I ignored it. But then I was forced to write it. See what he's talking about. What is that energy? Who is avoiding? Who is? It looks like there is a duality, but understand, like, there is no personal effort in anything. It's just a spontaneity is there. When it comes, it has to come. It is coming. He is not keen to become an author or a writer. You know what happens is we go in search of self and we get lost in that search, and only self is left. Or you can say that the one who goes in search becomes that only. The one who wants to know is no more. You keep saying Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva. Only Shiva is left. The one who is doing the japa, the one who is remembering, merges in it. Keep doing self-inquiry. Keep paying attention to the self, but also have devotion for it. Know that that is the reality in which I have to merge. I have to become one. our devotion and our practice both makes this journey beautiful, easy, and makes us that more quickly. Bhagavan wrote this marital garland of letters, Aksharan Male. The first phrase in this, even before you start the first one, it says that anyone whose sole refuge is Arunachala will become Arunachala. So what it means is that sole refuge, not like 1,000 gods and goddesses, sole refuge, only this. It will turn you into that. I don't know who wrote that initial, maybe Muruganar, I think. I think so. But it makes 100% sense. Because when you surrender to that, then what is left? Only that. Tat Tvama Asi. Tat means that. Tvam means you. Asi means your beingness, you are that. You are that. All scriptures are saying you are that. People who have realized, they are saying you are that. We practice, and if we can't get you are that means we are identifying with something which we are not. That something is this mind-body complex. So if you understand this game, in spite of having a mind-body complex, we have to de-identify ourselves with that. If you want to dodge death, if you want to escape death in this birth, you have to give up identification. There is no other way. So this satsang is about how to deceive death. When death comes, how to deceive it. Some people think spirituality and this meditation, mindfulness is for peace of mind. No, it is to make pieces of your mind. So the mind is not left. If peace of mind is left, death will come, you will die, then next birth, and then cycle continues. And where is liberation? Where is moksha? What is nirvana? Some peace of mind you can have after a few drinks. But eternal peace of mind can only be by merging the mind into the source, which is actually peace, which is infinite bliss and peace. We all are that. Even when we don't know we are that, we are still that. When you are lying in bed and dreaming, you are still the body which is lying. Though for that time being, when you're dreaming, you don't know that you are that body. You are in another body, dream body. So when we are dreaming in this waking state, we think I am this body mind and I'm doing this and this is my responsibility. To wake up from this dream, we need grace, we need efforts. Effort means ready to be that. That's all. That is all effort. 100% agreeing to be that. So not listening to these thoughts, not going with all egoistic desires and putting all energy back into the source. They say even in one life, if we can know the truth, that we have done a good job. Sometimes scripture says, and some religious sects, scripture says it takes 7 births. That how do we know that this is the first one or 7th? Let's make sure that we finish at the earliest. And enjoy that bliss of Brahman. Be in that bliss all the time. Be one with all, one with everyone, one with those who hate us. Be one with everything. That Brahman, when it unfolds in us, mind is already finished and its unfoldment finishes off whatever is left. It is that fire in which no impurity can stay. It actually never identifies with any impurity. So it does not identify with your body-mind complex. It says it is mithya, it is illusion, it is wave, it's just coming and going. But at the end, we are all that pure Brahman. It's not that someone is more pure than other. Everyone is equal. Everyone is that. It is so impartial. It does not say that someone is more realized than other. You cannot say that. Nobody can say that. Yes, devotees, disciples can speak out like that. They might say that Buddha was more enlightened than anyone else or whatever. Anyone who knows truth is same. After Bhagavan Ramana, all his devotees who understood truth are exactly him. No difference. And even someone come from some other sect, doesn't matter, or some other religion, doesn't matter. Accept this truth that knowing that Brahman, you become one with all realized beings. You know the same truth. It is unchanging. A Buddha has known it 2500 years ago, and you have known now. It is the same, no difference. Contemplate on this pure Brahman all the time. At least make your effort to be in it. To be in it means you are not engaging in your default mode network of constant thinking, I reference, doership. I need to do this, I need to do that. All this constant noise in the head, you don't pay any importance to any of those. Because at the end of this life, in this body, all your unfinished tasks will be unfinished. And who will worry about them? Do you think a day will come then all the task has been finished and mind is empty? Each finished task creates more unfinished tasks. You excel in your field, you get more responsibility, more recognition, more work. It is endless. Maybe one day you prove to be such a good administrator that after your death, you will be made Vishnu or Brahma, You can take care of the whole cosmos. Because those are posts. You might take care of the whole world, but you are not free. But yeah, you are useful. You can be a very good citizen and you are doing good work. But liberation is something different. Liberation is coming out of the game, keeping your hands empty. I am uninvolved. They say that the one who is realized, even if he kills thousands, he has not killed anyone, no sin. Because no identity with the body mind. Though I have to say that pure energy cannot do anything wrong also. But it is just to say, I'm not saying, it is not my words. This is what the scriptures say. It only means that there is no identity. Identity is the problem. Identity is the root cause of all suffering. Why that person said this to me? Who is this me? This body mind. Because people don't know you as Brahman. They only see this form. And you also see this form. And your identification with the body is the cause of all suffering. No identification, no suffering. And it is not escapism. You don't escape. You put the things into right perspective, where they should be. Abiding in that pure stillness, staying in that stillness. Is a virtue. Gretchen, do you want to ask something?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question about just the attraction to other bodies. So I've been wondering lately about the eyes and what we see in the eyes and how that relates. Because it seems like there's so much energy, or there's so much avoidance in seeing somebody's eyes. And that feels, I don't know, it just feels very mysterious to me.
Look, I couldn't get your question. So what is your question? Can you speak a bit louder? Are you talking about eye as eye or eyes?
Eyes.
Eyes. Eyes from which we see.
Yeah, it's like just the energy and the intensity behind eyes in reacting or having interaction with other bodies.
So what is your question for me? Is it a question or a statement?
It's a question, like what is it, I guess? What are the eyes? What is, in the body form, what are the eyes telling?
Are you again talking about the eyes? Your eyes, or you're talking about?
Yes, like the eyes. Yeah. Does that not make sense?
I have no clue. So you are you are saying your eyes are more important than the real eye, like, or you are saying these, or you are saying these eyes are the door to the real eye.
I don't know. No. Just in relating to other bodies and the intensity of relating to other bodies and being able to still stay in a state of observation or witness. And then I don't know, it just seems like eyes have something important. There's something that connects us through our eyes, through our seeing each other's eyes. And I was just wondering if there's that's a funny question. Thank you.
Thank you. Only thing I can add to this is that your eyes also become purer when you know Brahman. Their eyes looking towards things, and then there can be an eye looking towards things. An eye full of lust can be known by anyone, how you see people. Eyes full of lust, and eyes full of unconditional love is different love. That also you can understand. It all depends from where that eye is looking through. The source of eye. Is it the ego? Because you can go to a party and your eyes are looking and judging and comparing, and this person is wearing this and he's not behaving well and all this, and you gather all that garbage and come back home judging people, analyzing them, criticizing, liking, disliking. These eyes are full of filth. Though they might be interacting with people, they might have made new friends, but there might be a lot of egoistic tendencies to make friends. Maybe you are attracted to the wealth, to the beauty of the body, or to the position of the person. That interaction of the eye is also an interaction full of ego. But then there can be one without ego coming from the source, pure love, no motive. When it sees a beautiful being, look-wise, or the ugliest, it has no impartiality, it just throws love. It is not judging, analyzing, criticizing, no gossip. in the mind or with others. So in a way, I could say that eyes can speak a lot about from what the energy source is. And eyes cannot lie. But rather than giving importance to how eyes look, I think try to find the source, and it purifies everything, including our eyes. Then eyes also becomes giving rather than taking, receiving. It only gives. Contemplate on all these words like silence, Brahman, self, no name, no form, pure, unborn, eternal. These words are your own definition. When you take them as you, this will help you to get rid of the illusion of I am the body idea. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arunachal Ramanaya Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Thank you.